My name is Gary Abu Jr. I'm an educator, I'm a business owner, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a church member, and I am grateful today to be able to share with you a little bit about my story in hopes that it can be an encouragement and an expression of gratitude to all of you. My daughter recently started the 3rd grade, and as many of you might know, in 3rd grade, that is when you learn your times tables. Times tables are when you learn 2 times 2 equals 4 and 2 times 8 equals 16 and things of that nature. And as an educator, we learn that there's vocabulary that goes with things like times tables. When you say 2 times 8 equals 16, the 2 is called a factor, the 8 is called a multiplier, and the 16 is called a product. Today I want to share with you how the gift of donation can be a multiplier in the lives of others. It can make things grow to greater lengths that they could not on their own. And I'd also like to share a little bit of inspiration from my own personal life in a way to do that. About 28 years ago, I learned in a 5th grade classroom that I couldn't see the board. My parents took me to the eye doctor and I found out I had a disease that I couldn't pronounce, named keratoconus. It meant that my curved corneas that were normally round-shaped had become cone-shaped, and they were gradually growing thinner and weaker over time. The tissue became misshapen, and it caused all of my vision to look as though I were seeing the world through the safety glass of a foggy shower glass door. As time went on, glasses and contact lenses no longer worked, and then I needed to be able to have cornea transplant surgery when I was in my college years. Now, there were 2 things that I knew growing up. One, I knew for sure, was that I wanted to be a physician. The second was that I knew that I couldn't see very well, and no one let me forget either. Everyone encouraged me to try my best to do well in school and to go after becoming a doctor to help others, to save lives. It was something that resonated with me, and I wanted to do that. But I also knew that seeing was difficult. And as my vision got worse and worse, my dream of becoming a physician became more and more out of reach. Apparently, they don't want you to do surgery when you can't see. And I had the wonderful blessing in 2007 of having my first cornea transplant in my left eye, and in 2008 in my right eye. My vision went from being unable to read a book or drive a car to seeing better than 20/20 without correction. And immediately the next day when the doctor took the bandages off of my eyes, I could see my wife's smiling face. I could see the specks in the floor. I was never happier to see dirt on the floor than that day. So I want to share with you some of my favorite sights that I've been able to see since my cornea transplants. Being able to receive the gift of sight allowed me to finish school. It allowed me to learn that my true gifts were better matched in education than they were in medicine. I became a high school science teacher, and turned out I was pretty good at it. In 2014, I was selected by the Michigan Department of Education as Teacher of the Year for the state of Michigan. Out of 100,000 plus teachers, well, thank you very much. Out of over 100,000 teachers, they give this award in honor to one teacher each year, and it puts them into an exclusive leadership development program throughout the country where they get to go to the White House and meet the president, work with education policymakers, support the Department of Education and the State Board of Ed in supporting student learning. I also got to give a TED Talk, to publish a children's book called Science with Scarlett, all about the science of color vision. And we used proceeds from that book to support the mission and work of Eversight. Absolutely. Thank you. I got to be there for the birth of my daughter and be able to see what life looks like at the start. And although our family wanted to have more children, we learned that it was not going to be that easy. And so over the years, we ended up adopting our 2nd child just this past year. Being able to see him come into our life has been something very special. But perhaps one of the most unique experiences for me has been how I've been able to stay in touch and connect with one of my donor families over the years. The inspiration that has brought has helped me to learn more about myself, about others, about the journey of donation, and the impact that it can have. It helped to shape the perception that I had of keeping in touch with the birth family of our son. And it has led to something more profound than I could probably express in words today, which is that I have become over the years more acutely aware of what it means to have received grace. Grace is when you receive something that you don't deserve and you could not have earned on your own and you cannot pay it back. That is what I have learned in this experience through being a cornea recipient. That although my story is different than everyone else's, it is an act of grace that you and your loved ones have done for the people in this room who are recipients.